Okay, awesome, guys. So today is a hot seat call. So we're just doing live coaching, 30 minutes of what's working, what people are struggling with, coaching questions. But I want to just do an intro before we get started here. We have Trina on the line. Trina lives in Powell River, right across the ocean from me. Allison Milan lives over there, and so does Patty Trevor. You guys have probably heard of Powell River. It's a cute little town, kind of like the new Whistler, I think, of Canada. Hey, like it's just this funky little place that people are going to live right on the ocean. And Trina is personally enrolled. Oh, you're not enrolled by Gabby Deans, but you've been really mentored by her, right?
Yeah, so I was enrolled by my girlfriend Aston, who actually, Gabby's story about lending her the van on the west coast of California because she couldn't get back to New Zealand after global celebration. So that van belonged to my girlfriend Aston. And my first week, I had kind of surpassed what Aston knew. And she's like, "Okay, you need to coach her because she's surpassed me already." So yeah, so I kind of got taken under Gab's wing and we've been pretty much best friends ever since. So yeah.
I love it. Did you go live with her? Was that part of your story?
Yeah, so my story is kind of like very similar to Emily Barbara's actually. I was actually just listening to her story and she moved in with the person who she wanted to be like. And I was 6 days in and Gabby called me and she's like, "Hey, you need to get to this conference. It's on the other side of Australia." So I had flown from Thailand. I enrolled in Thailand, but we couldn't get packs there. So I flew to Australia, which was where my enrolling sponsor was, on a $98 ticket. I had literally no money in my bank account and I bought my pack on faith. And my first 6 days in, I lost 8.5 pounds and 8.5 inches on my waist. So I knew that there was something different about these products. And Gabby called me up and she said, "Girl, like, I know that you're a firecracker. You need to get to this event." It was IC Uni in Sydney. And I'd never been to Sydney before in my entire life. And so I was like 6 days in Australia and I barely know where I am. And now I'm getting on a flight with a credit card from a lady I don't even know to fly to a city I've never been to go to an event that I don't have no clue what I'm going to. And just like, that's just what I did. So I just got on the plane and it was crazy. I had to like get on a train and get on a bus and get on a cab. And I had no clue how the transit systems in Australia works, but I knew that something was going on. Like there wasn't just no reason that some random stranger would throw a credit card at me and tell me to get on a flight to get to Sydney. So I did, and I got there, and being at that event like changed my life. And so Gabby met me there in the airport. We slammed an e-shot. We got to the event, and my life sort of just changed. And she took me under her wing and mentored me personally for pretty much the last year, and my life has changed. So pretty
Oh my God. That's so awesome. And so many people will hear this recording in my little team. So that's pretty inspiring, Trina. How old are you?
I'm 33 in October, actually. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you look younger to me, but 33.
Okay.
Awesome.
Isogenesis.
Yeah, totally. I'm cranking mine out too. And the greens, that's my new thing. And I think the greens is really helping my skin. So, well, congrats. That's awesome. I love it. Such a good story. Okay, so we have, so today's just our hot seat, and we're just going to talk about what's working, what the challenges are, things like that. And so in the last couple of weeks, what we've been doing is we've been going through the units in our business group, and we've been setting people up with kind of the basic activities. So how to relaunch your business, which is setting your goal, and we do what's called a WHOOP. So that's your wish. What is your outcome? What are the obstacles that you're going to face? And then we make a game plan. So I've been doing WHOOP calls all week with leaders because about, 2 or 3 times a year, you do have to sit down and reset your goals and reset your vision. So if you're a little bit clear, or you're not really taking action, it's probably because your vision isn't really clear of where you're going. So it's really, really important that you have that. So if anyone who's watching this needs to do that reset, then make sure you do it. I want to just share a victory. I know Carolyn is hopping on this call. She is has someone leaving that was at her house for coffee, so she's a bit behind. But I just want to shout out to her because we did the WHOOP and we made her game plan. And so part of her game plan, she's been super coachable. One of the things that was in her game plan was to do her launch on Facebook. So we did a Facebook interview online We didn't mention the word isogenics. We didn't mention any of that stuff, but it was just, I'm starting this new health and wellness business. I've lost 42 pounds. I feel amazing. And I know she was nervous to do it, but her inbox filled in. And then we drove people to her Facebook prospecting group, which is Fit 50 Fabulous or something like that. So she's got over 200 people already in her Facebook prospecting group. So I'm just shouting out to you, Carolyn, just sharing with everyone how you were very coachable this week. You started your Facebook group. You've got, I think, over 200 people in there. We did your Facebook Live, and things are rocking and rolling. So, and this is Trina on the call. You don't know her. She's from Powell River, and she just shared her amazing story. So, so Carolyn, how is the Facebook group going? Fill us in.
Oh, it's going so good.
Yeah.
Let me just situate myself here. Sorry. I just had an enrollment this morning based from it. So that was so cool. And it's a lady who's been watching for a bit. And then she said, thank you so much for all your support in the Facebook group. Not that I've supported her, just support in general. And so she's totally on board.
I'm going to share my screen and just give people an example of what you're doing in your Facebook group.
Okay. I also got a message last night from a lady, another lady that is actually two messages.
Your group again? What's it called?
Living Fabulous and 50.
There it is. I just want people to get a visual. Oh, you're at 196 people, right?
Yeah.
So 196 people, you started this on Friday, and you're doing some great posts. Now, I want to just say one thing. Before you get into this, Carolyn, a bunch of us flew to Vancouver, and that's where I saw Trina this weekend, which was amazing. One of the hottest tips on the stage from Tanis, and maybe Trina, we can get your feedback too, was she said, you can Google interactive posts. You can Google engagement posts. Like I just Googled interactive posts, and it's like, what was your most life-changing book? And it's driving engagement. So I can see you doing engagement posts in here. I didn't know you could just Google that stuff and get ideas. So tell us about your enrollments and what's happening in your group.
So right now, so I mostly do weight loss. I mean, this particular post that I just did with that ribbon, that's grief. So I do, it's all on grief and supporting people. Because remember too, we're a whole. When we're 50, or a whole woman, we're experiencing things as a whole. So what we put in our bodies, how our mindsets work, things we're experiencing. That weight loss video is amazing. It's a Mel Robbins, and it's fantastic. And it's just about mindset, about being deserving. A lot of women, this is the thing, a lot of women, they want to lose weight, for example, but they don't feel deserving. So sometimes we have to dig into the mindsets versus just giving them a solution to a weight problem. You know, the weight problem is that it's a symptom to what, right? So that's the other thing I think is kind of exciting. Plus people are seeing my results, and it's just amazing. And our video that you did, which was hilarious. Oh my God.
And let me just stop here for 1 sec. You're getting someone who said PM juice. You're getting enrollments from.
Yeah, so she's the one I signed this morning. I signed her this morning.
Amazing. So this is brilliant. I just before you jump to the Facebook Live, this is awesome. So the steps for launching a business builder. Okay, guys, they're in our units. Number 1, you do the WHOOP, which is the wish, right? The outcome. We made a plan. The plan was start your Facebook prospecting passion group in an area that interests you. Like Carolyn is all about being 50 fabulous, freaking awesome. And that's what your group is about. If it's about dogs or traveling, make it about that.
Yep.
And then the third thing we did was doing your Facebook launch and doing a Facebook Live. And I know you were a bit cautious about it, but we did it. We had some glitches as per expected. That's why we should have been using Be Live TV. But let's go to your Facebook. And so tell us about the outcome of that.
Huge, by the way. Huge. Like, I suggest everyone do this if they can, because there we are. Yeah, we had a lot of computer glitches, but you know what? Here's the feedback.
518 views, 43 comments, and 2 shares. So it's kind of like your coming out party, but you're not saying Isagenix, and
Nope.
people are curious.
Yes. And here's the other thing. I got private messages, I got phone calls, people commenting anywhere from "you look so amazing" to the energy between you and Erin. I got a lot of feedback on that, saying that you ladies are incredible. The way that you speak, and it was just engaging, and even glitches and all. That's what I heard. Glitches and all.
And you had like feedback, which is the most annoying thing. So like, despite the feedback,
oh my God, it was like, I mean, the whole thing was pretty bad. But then
that happens because you need to have your earphones plugged in.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
And did Erin as well? Did she sit in as well?
You know what? Yes. You know what happened? I had a phone call come through because I didn't put my phone on airplane mode. And so the phone call came through, and then it screwed everything up and I couldn't get it back. Yeah. Yes. Anyways, yes, we do know about the earphones, but unfortunately all hell broke loose. But you know what? Anytime Erin was speaking to me, I just listened, got the information. I felt like that reporter on the, that would wait for the information, and then I'd take it out and I would speak, because it was just like, oh, it was painful, but it was so rewarding, and it was so fantastic. I loved it.
I love it. And guys, you can relaunch your business at any time too, right? You can always relaunch what you're doing. So that's, I don't know what that sound is.
It's an airplane.
Oh, God. Okay. So Carolyn, you're on fire, and you're taking action, right? So
Yes.
And you're getting the results. So congratulations on that. Hey, Jenny. So is there anything else you want to add?
Yes. You know me. Okay, so here's the thing. And I know that you were getting a little bit frustrated with me, because I was often projecting my own thoughts onto people. So whether I felt like they couldn't afford something, or whether I felt like I didn't want to talk about the product, like I got nervous and putting myself out there. And so here's the difference in what's happened. And honestly, I am so high vibe at the moment. Like, I'm so vibing so high. And the difference is I've completely embraced the idea of, I'm sharing this and I'm out there to tell the world about this opportunity, about how you can feel, because my transformation is so huge that I'm owning every second of it. And I'm not worried about what people think of me. I don't care. And it was a switch, literally like a light switch. Like, I was worried, and I was, and then I was worried about could they afford it? Are they thinking I'm just a pusher? Like, I felt like not a drug pusher. You know what I mean? Like, you feel like you're selling, and the difference is I'm not selling, I'm sharing. The difference is I don't care what you think about me, because I'm owning who I am. And I'm telling you right now, I feel fantastic. So the question is, do you? If you don't, then talk to me. If you do, great, do what you're doing. I'm not here to push anything.
How did you make that switch? And then also I want to hear from anyone else who struggled with that. So how did you make that flip in your brain? Because that was an issue, and that was an issue for me. Raise your hand. You guys ever have that issue where you worry about what people think of you? Yeah. Hello. Yeah, we've all been there. Nope, Barbara, you're badass. She doesn't care. She's got a little bit more wisdom than some of us. But how did you flip that switch? And then I'd like to hear from other people too. Like, how did you guys flip it?
how did I flip it? I think a big part of it was seeing myself on that video.
Mm.
And I was I've watched that video. It sounds, a bit weird, but I've watched that video about 4 or 5 times.
Oh.
The reason I watched it was because I saw a different person.
Oh, I have goosebumps.
I know. And the thing is that I am different. And I am so excited. I am so excited, and I'm so rocking this out, and I'm so going for it that, you know what? I don't care. You can eye roll all you want. I roll all yourself right into the, into the change room and feel bad and complain and do all that. That's up to you. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm literally being there for the people who want it and need it and are a little bit afraid to get that help. So that's who I'm focusing on.
That's beautiful. You really took a courageous act by doing the Facebook Live, and then you saw yourself in a new light, which is awesome.
I did.
Super proud of you. Does anyone want to add to that? Like any comments for Carolyn, or has anyone here been through that? I know that how I got over it was I journaled. Trina, what do you want to say?
Yeah. So what actually happened to me was I was really grateful that it happened right at the beginning of my journey with Isagenix. So when I started, I had problems even investing in a big pack for myself because I thought that I wasn't worth it. I thought, oh my goodness, like if I'm going to do this, do I have the money to spend, and I was kind of dealing with that. And then what I realized, it was like, in order to hit the goal that I need to hit, I was like, I need to get the best pack to get the best results. So I ended up investing in a bigger pack for myself and doing the double cleanse days right out the gate. And what that did for me was that it gave me instant results in my first week. So when I got a call from my mom, because I got such quick results, other people were like, whoa, you got these results in 6 days. Like, what's going on? And so what happened was I decided to document my journey right out the gate. And I did actually start with just a basic Facebook post, like, I feel so good, la, la, la. But I didn't actually do the live until after I spoke to my mom. And this is where everything changed for me. So I had a couple girls come into my business right away. I actually paid for my pack before I even got my pack, which was, I think I made around $500 or $600 in my first week. And the way that happened is I just called 2 of my girlfriends up and I said, hey, would you be my accountability partners? And I said, I'm going to do this. I don't know if this is going to work, but I said, if it does, great. If it doesn't, we get our money back. But do you want to do this with me? And both girls were like, yep, absolutely. What pack did you get? And I was like, the weight loss value pack with double cleansing. And they went, great. I want that same pack because I want the same results. If we're going to do this,
wow,
we're doing it together, right? So instantly I got double PIBs in my first week, plus the cycling and all that stuff. So somebody on my team heard that I was this new girl on the team and I had just made this check, and they posted it on Facebook to celebrate my earnings. And for me, that was another big issue that I had, because I'm a missionary. I don't really come from a family where we ever brag about how much we make or anything. So I even had a mindset issue about posting to somebody celebrating me. Like that's how messed up my mind was. So then my mom sees me in Australia, knows that I do not have an Australian visa. I do not have another backup to work down there. Like I literally went there on a $90 one-way ticket on faith. And so I get there and she's like calling me up, like chewing me out, saying, you are not allowed to be working in Australia. You do not have a visa. You cannot make money there. This is illegal. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
And it's on Facebook too, right?
Yeah. And she's just like freaking out at me. And I was like, whoa, mom, like just calm down. Like this is not illegal. I said, I have an international license with Isagenix. I can do business in any of these 18 countries. And she's like, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, do you remember Sarah was taking this product, a while back or whatever? And she goes, yeah. And she says, well, is it working for you? And I said, well, I've lost 8.5 pounds and 8.5 inches around my waist just in my first 6 days. And she goes, you don't lose weight. And I said, yeah, I know. Cause I mean, if you guys know my story, for 32 years, I dealt with the worst digestive issues. I could not lose weight. Anyways, it's a long story, but to get to my point, she was calling me to chew me out because of an issue that she had, as well as something that I had. And it was sort of a generational mindset issue.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm explaining to her, she's like, well, does the products work? And I said, listen, I don't even want to talk to you about it because I don't want you to think I'm selling you something. That was my mindset, you guys. My mindset was that I didn't want to tell anybody what I was doing. I just wanted to get my own results, and then people could physically see, and then I wouldn't have to defend or deal with rejection or deal with any of that stuff, because that is the hardest thing. And I think most people fear this business. They fear getting success. They fear getting results. They fear this stuff because they don't feel they are equipped enough to deal with people, right? That's mostly why we don't succeed, is because we feel like we're not equipped enough to answer the questions, the rejection, the objections, all these different things. I'm taking another product that's way better than your product, and you don't know what's in our product. So then you're fearful of that coming up, different things like that. So long story short, my mom said to me, well, is it working? And I told her, I said, well, yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been 6 days, but this is the result. And she said, well, would it work for me? And this is where everything changed for me, guys. This is it. And I tell this story every single time I tell people about Isagenix, at every tasting party, at every event. And this is it, is my mom had been struggling with chronic acid reflux so bad that she had 5 scopes. They were thinking of doing all different types of surgery. She was on a protein pump inhibitor, which is Cantalock. It's a medicine that actually is designed to lower the acid in your stomach. The problem being it leaches all the calcium out of your bones, as well as a vitamin B in your body. And as women, we have to have vitamin B or we are not doing so good. So I watched my mom literally live off Tums. Now, she was presenting problems with almost like dementia, because Tums are full of aluminum. So what our product does is it actually pulls the heavy metals out of the body, called chelation, and that's what's in our cleanse. So when my mom says to me, do you think this would work for me? I went, oh my gosh. My whole mindset was, I didn't want you to think that I was introducing you to this company, to these products, because I thought you thought I'm trying to get a paycheck off of you. That was my mindset. But when I realized that, oh my goodness, like I used to be a medic. So medically in my mind, I'm ticking down the list. I know what's in these products. I know what they're supposed to do. And I realized my fear of thinking I was going to sell something to her to make a profit off of my own mom was keeping my mom from getting incredible results, and keeping her from getting 18 pounds of weight loss, all of her symptoms. I'm going to put the disclaimer at the end of this, but all of her symptoms of dementia are gone, and her acid reflux issues are gone. So if I stayed in a place of fear and said, no, mom, I'm not telling you about this, then she would never be able to experience the incredible results. And not only that, build a team of over 11 people already and start funding in a missionary organization in Africa with her earnings from Isagenix. So you guys never know. You never know what is that person is needing. You never know what they are needing in their body, how their bodies are going to respond to that. That's not your job. It's not your job. Your job is to just show people what these products are capable of doing by your story, by other people in your network story, and allow them to decide, instead of living in a place of fear. Because if I lived in that place of fear, I would not share with Isagenix with anybody. Really. I mean, I look back, and that was the moment it changed for me, is my heart connection was that I need to give this gift to my mom, or she's not going to be able to have a fulfilled life.
And you know something, just a quick thing. I think you saved your mom's life, because that acid reflux then turns into Barrett's esophagus, that then turns into cancer. And I've seen many people pass from it. So I think you gave your mom the gift of life, and bravo to you.
Thank you. Yeah. And you know what? I realized that at that moment, and this is where the shift happened, was that because of the fact that I stepped out of a place of fear, of thinking, and also like almost like a selfish mentality. It's a false selfish mentality, really. And we were talking about this morning. We do a walk around our lake every morning, my mom and I, and we were talking about this. And And most of the problem that people are having is that they are so afraid of letting other people down. That's a big issue. And we keep that as a barrier from being able to step out. For instance, I feel sometimes, and I'm so grateful being on this call, is that sometimes I have this mindset is I'm not a good enough leader. I'm going to screw up everybody's chances of being great because I'm not going to be able to lead them properly. And so in that case, I pull back and then I don't lead, or I don't do what my team needs because I'm afraid of not leading them properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it comes to a place of just feeling like, you know, that you don't have enough information. And this is one thing that came to me yesterday, was that when we realize that we are capable of leading, when we are capable of being excellent, we are all capable of being incredible leaders, every single one of us. It's such a lie to say, oh, I'm not a people person, I'm not, you know, outgoing, I'm not. That's a lie. Anybody can learn to be a leader. And that's what you were talking about, is these systems, right? Following the basic, go back to the basics. I think where my biggest turn happened in my company, where I started to, you know, not do as much growth. Like I was enrolling like 5 premium packs, 5 weight loss packs a week. And it was just like, things were just rolling like crazy because I had this basic system and this basic understanding of, I've got the results. I know how to introduce somebody. Let's get them on the pack. Let's get them started. Let's plug them in. But when you start taking too much responsibility of, I have to know everything about everything, which we're not Dr. Plant, and we're never going to be Dr. Plant, and we're not designed to be Dr. Plant. But when we realize that it's just simplicity, right? If we get too complicated, then everyone on our team is going to think, how am I going to ever be that good, right? How am I ever going to learn that much information, right? Because then we're not all designed to be like that. Yes, some of us have certain skills, and we learned this in Vancouver, is that understand what your skills are and help leverage that on your team. But the thing is that, you know, the basic is like Erin, you're saying, like, go back to the basic, go back to Whoop, go back to the group, go back to the live, and just let everything else come into place. So for me, it was just realizing that it's that fear was standing in the way of somebody's incredible results. And I had to not stand in the way. And it wasn't about me. It's not about me. It's not about any of us. It's about the people out there that need these results. They need to be able to have a chance to try it. So, sorry, that was really long-winded.
That's okay. No, I mean, did you guys get value from that? So amazing. So amazing. Let's just all think for a minute. Think about your life without Isagenix in it for a second. Think about if the person that introduced you to this in their brain said, I don't think it would be for Trina. I don't think Barbara would spend the money on this. I don't think Jani's would invest. I don't think Carolyn's into this stuff. Like, that's not fair, right? Mm-hmm. Our job is just exactly what you said, Trina. We educate, you decide. Mm-hmm. And it's all permission. It's like, hey, I have something like, I put this in my group the other day, like the first person I enrolled was Jodie. You know, she was like yawning. And I said, I think I have something that would help you. She was like, what is it? I'm like, I don't know, Isagenix, it's working good for me. The woman's been making, 6 figures ever since, like a year in. But guys, I didn't need a script. I just needed to help her. So like exactly what you said, Trina, like, don't get hung up on, do I have to say the perfect thing? What are the ingredients? How do I explain this? This is like, Jani, you're an athlete. I have athlete stuff. I think it's going to help you. The end, right? So, yeah, and getting over that fear. Anyone else go through that where you had to overcome yourself to make progress? Jani, you're nodding. You want to share?
Well, right, it's actually happening right now because, as you know, I had built $100,000 business, and I don't know if this speaks to anyone else through Isagenix. Not quite 96. So the government says. So what happened is the economy changes, some things happened within the team, some dynamics happened. So my business has literally cut in half. And right now, my mental inner struggle is, and I know with everything that I know in my brain that it's not true, but I'm a loser as a leader. I didn't lead properly. What did I do wrong? All that beating myself up. I know that I can rebuild because I did it once before, and I know that I was a reasonably good leader, but we're improving all the time, right? I won't say I was a great leader because I don't think anybody ever really is. But it's like that struggle now with reaching out to people because I feel that intense loss in my business. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You're muted, Erin.
Yeah, sorry. If you could put that, fine, then we can do a one-on-one coaching. And if any of you are feeling that way, has anyone else felt that way before? Yeah, totally. Right? So if you could put that most painful thought into one sentence, what would the sentence be? Like, is it like, I'm not a good enough leader, or I don't know if I believe in this, or what would it be?
I'm not a good enough leader.
And this is where we get into the work, right? And I like to go, and this is a good learning for you guys if you're coaching your people. You can use this technique for people, even with their product cleanse. You ask the 5 whys, right? And we don't have to do it right now, but like, why aren't you a good enough leader? But if you're open, what's the next layer underneath that? What's the next layer underneath that, And then we go down to the core, and usually the heart of that core is that I'm not enough, right? I mean, we can skip the 5 whys and get right to the heart. And there are 3 core beliefs in all human beings, and I am not enough is usually the main one. And I'm alone. I always forget the third one.
Connection. They need connection.
Yeah.
To acceptance, isn't it?
I don't have enough.
I don't have enough. Yeah. So that I'm not enough. So that's the work, right? And is that thought true? Like, let's just look at the evidence. Is that true? No. So let me ask you this question. So you guys close your eyes. We all have this thought, right? I'm not enough, right? Think about it in whatever area of your life that's showing up. And I want you to, so for Janie, it might be in the business, right? Reaching out. For you, other people, it might be in their health. I'm not enough. I want you to think about who you would be without that thought. Who would you be without the thought, I'm not enough? And Janie, I want you to unmute, and I want you to tell us, who would you be without that thought? Like, I've just sucked it out of your brain. Your brain can't think that thought anymore. It can't process it. It's like Japanese. You cannot think that thought anymore, and tell me how you feel and what you're doing.
Powerful. I would be $1 million business.
So I am
$1 million business owner, and I don't worry about bills anymore. I live I'd have to define, I live a life free from stress from my bills.
And it's tomorrow morning, and what's the first thing you do?
Give back.
So what do you do? So bring me through a day in the life of Janie as an Isogenics $1 million business builder without this thought, I am not enough. What does your day look like? What are the actions you're taking?
The first thing I do, I wake up, I meditate, I do a little bit of working out, I walk my dogs, I come back, I reach out to team, I encourage team, I motivate team, I teach other women to build to what I call the FU money, which is, what the F stands for, which is teaching other women to never have to depend on anyone else for money.
And how do you show up in your community and at the gym, and like, how are you walking around, and what are you saying to people?
I am looking more people in the eye. I feel powerful. I feel strong. I am giving back to the charities of my choice in my community. And I'm teaching women how to stand alone on their own, because I truly believe a lot of the world's problems could be solved if women had more money.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So tell me, about, this is so powerful, and tell me about the actions you're taking to build your business. Like, what are the actions that you're taking on a daily basis? Like, are you prospecting? Are you meeting new friends? Are you inviting? Are you hosting things? What are you doing?
Currently?
No, with this new,
I am reaching out to 10 people with confidence on social media. I'm confidently speaking my truth in
what are you saying
Facebook.
to them? What are you saying to them on social media? Let's imagine you have this medical exercise specialist that you've been eyeballing, and you know you could change. How would you approach them?
Hey girl, whatever. I know what it's like to struggle within, you know, I noticed you've been, obviously I'm observing their posts. I noticed how you've been talking about how you're struggling with clients and keeping clients. I have a way that's really helped me gain financial independence through a different way of doing business. Are you open to me taking a look? I believe with my core, all my heart, that this can help you change your life.
Amazing. Got goosebumps. Like, my nipples are like getting hard here. This is awesome. My husband's not around. Sorry, that was really rude. I should probably just get out of the training. That's your truth, Jenny. Like, that's, you know, like, you can see the end result. Like, you're making an impact. You got the money, you got the, and then there's like this space in between. And it's like, yeah, I'm prospecting. I'm reaching out to people. You're picking up the phone. You're leaving voice memos. Hey, listen, I saw you're a trainer, blah, blah, blah. You're doing this. I have something that I think would be amazing for you. And I love what you said at the end. Who loved that? Who loved that? Does anyone have any feedback for Janny on that? Like, you just want to sign up with her again?
You know, something that I think, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something that hit home that you said, Janny, that is so massive to me is women having financial independence. And I've seen it a billion times. Actually, it happened in my own life with my own mother. And I've seen it in so many people and so many women who they're not empowered because they just don't have the money. And if they did have the money, I can't even imagine what this world would be like. And I think, that's the one thing that I think holds a lot of women back, is they feel that they're so dependent on their spouse, or their spouse have, we, like for me, I've had 3 children. I wasn't out in the workforce like everyone else. You know what I'm saying? And I think that financial independence is life altering and empowering.
I just had an aha moment. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like bringing that financial freedom to women, because it does give them power. Like, there's a niche right there. You could make a whole new list right now of women that need financial freedom and independence. There's a new list. I mean,
that's why it's FU money. I am financially independent. I am. You know me. I have my own house. I pay for that. I've got a bazillion animals. That sort of thing. I don't ask anybody for money. I don't borrow money. I don't have parents. I don't have family. I am 100% financially independent. I must create more in order to live a life of peace and joy and ease, and then show women that there's a pathway that it can be done for them, because so many women I know are either in bad relationships or they're single working 22 jobs, but still can't. I think everybody can get ahead. I think there's enough for everybody out there. There is in the world. But I think, and Trina's going to say something good, I know it. And I think that it's my duty, look at me go, it's my duty to show women it might not be the way for you, but maybe it leads you to another way where you produce your own product or your own program that you can sell to other women or whatever. Done. Thank you.
I was just going to jump in and say, like, on the walk this morning, my mom was saying something and like she was saying to me, I'm going to pick up other cleaning jobs so I can make a little bit of extra money because I want to give back more. And I said, Mom, why are you wasting your time adding cleaning jobs when you can get an enrollment and make 4 times that amount in 5 seconds, as opposed to being out cleaning another home spending hours of your energy and time. And I said, like, you know, you're not getting any younger. You need to be valuing your body and spending the time honoring your body, not, you know, busting your ass, like cleaning somebody's house. I was like, if I can just give you the money to not do that. But I said, that wouldn't be helping you. That would be disenabling you. So I said, why do you find it easier to go clean a house and talk to somebody about Isagenix? And we went back to that thing about fear. If you feel like you are not capable, right, of feeling confident in what you do, how many people out there, even on the call right now, know that when you feel like you're not really good at something, you'd rather go do something you're really good at and feel good about doing it with confidence than trying something and feeling not so great about doing it, right? Like, for example, it's easier for my mom to go clean a home because she knows how to clean and work her ass off, as opposed to learning a simple skill and applying that, even though it's different, right? So the one of the main things that I was, and this goes back to a bit of like what I do in ministry and stuff, is that a lot of the problem that we're having in society is that the older generation, you know, my mom's generation, believes that working hard, not working smart, is what they're designed to do. Right? So a lot of people out there believe that they actually don't even deserve to work smarter than work harder. So it's a mindset issue that is actually the older striving generation. You know, how hard you work is how valuable you are. So your value is all determined by how hard you work at your job, whether it's chopping firewood or out, you know, working at the, you know, down at the mill or doing these different types of things. I put in a good hard day's work of labor, so therefore I deserve to eat dinner tonight. That is the mentality. That's the old school mentality. And what's happening is that when that mentality takes over, then we don't actually go and try something new because we feel that it's not the same value. So sitting at a computer for 3 hours as opposed to going and scrubbing somebody's house is actually the cheap way out of it. And then you feel that you haven't put in a hard day's work of labor, plus the fact of that fear thing. So what we had to do with her this morning is I said, let's break this down. You know, let's break this down. I said, it's not about you deserving more money. Because I said to her, I was like, do you really honestly believe that you don't deserve to have more? She goes, well, I have a great house and it's on a lake and I've got food and I've got clothes and I've got cars and I've got this and that. And I said, it's not about that. I said, it's not about that. I said, you need more money so that you can go and give more over to missions. Right. And, you know, Janny, your thing might be different. You might need more money so that you can, you know, take care of your animals the way that you feel that they deserve, or whatever it is, or empower other women by starting a project. Or Erin, maybe yours is giving back, you know, more in how you help people with their mindset issues, or whatever it is. And for me, I'm doing Isagenix because that finances for my business is going to go into Kingdom Culture, which is going to go open businesses for people in impoverished countries. So the reason why, and it doesn't make anybody's why different or better, or it's just right. It's the thing is that if we believe that we don't deserve to have the money, it's not only stopping us from having that benefit in our life, it's stopping us from being the way we give back. And so what I had to get her through this morning was, you feeling like you deserve to go clean houses because you're not good enough to introduce this business to other people is just the simple matter of you don't understand the simple steps. Because if you felt confident about the simple steps, you wouldn't feel disconfident in having to go clean a house instead, right? So come back to the basics of it. If we don't understand the skill, we need to break it down and simplify it. Go back to the skill and say, these are the steps. Bam. First, like you said, you make your plan, your WOOP plan, right? Second of all, you do your thing. And for Janny, you need to do a Facebook page all about empowering women and have like boss pictures on there and, you know, women coaching and girls in their power suits and all about like projects that women are doing all over the world that are helping people, and homeless projects and homeless posts and whatever it is, you know, whatever fires you up. But that's your niche. I don't even have a group page. I don't. So this is incredible because I'm learning from you guys. And I think it's so incredible that, when we break it back down to the simplistic basics of it, and then I actually overheard my mom. She went on and watched a podcast about learning about the greens and watching Emily Varver on how to invite people. And I'm hearing her from another room because she took what I said and realized if I can learn the simple skill, then I can do it. And she's learned 100 different skills, sewing and, stained glass. And recently she just learned to paint, and she just posted up one of her paintings online. So if she can do all of those other skills, Isagenix is not hard, you guys. It takes work, but it's not hard. It's a skill, just like anything else is a skill. If we can learn the skill and the basics, like, we don't have to get crazy and complicated. But if we just learn those basic skills, then we're going to feel confident. Like when you went into that mode of being like, okay, this is who I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to show up. This is how I'm going to help. And you have that confidence applied to that, then cleaning is just something you used to do. And now this is Isagenix is what you are good at.
Okay. Well, that's like mic drop right there. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Let me give you guys a structure of 3 things based on what Trina said. And this is from Eric Worre. So it's legend. Number 1, the 3 things you require skills. And Eric Worre GoPro, it's the 7 skills of network marketing, how to invite, right? First skill actually is how to find people. And so Carolyn's method is she's starting a Facebook group. Trina, you're a bubbly person. You can probably just meet people here and there. Wendy is a influencer on social media and works at a gym. So find your way to meet people. Number 1, first skill. Number 2 is inviting. Hey, would you be open to taking a look? Skill 3, how to follow up. Hey, would you like best about what you saw? Awesome. Next skill, and that's presenting. You show them the packs. The next skill is launching, right? This is not hard stuff. It's all in Eric Worre's book, GoPro, and we teach this every single week. So those skills are key. Number 1, to build a successful network marketing Isagenix business is skills. Number 2 is the game plan. That's your map to Crystal Executive. If that's not printed out and in your book, the leader in action and the map to executive, I don't know if I can help you. Carolyn, I just looked at your tree. Like, you're poised to go executive anytime here and a free trip to Arizona, right? You are poised to go. So the map to executive, that's your game plan. So number 1, we had our skills. Number 2, we have our game plan. That's your map to executive and your leader in action form. And number 3, it's a mindset. And that's why we're doing the mindset, because I can't just teach skills. We can't just learn skills without mindset. You have to have the championship winning mindset. When you have those 3 things, you have look out. You don't need a leader to pull you and drag you and reward you and acknowledge. You'll just go, right? Think about when you started. You had a winning mindset. You were like, I am a badass. Look at this. I am going to tell the world. You all have the skill of inviting. Have you ever had a birthday party? Here's how it goes. Barbara, I'm having a party on Friday. Do you want to come? Barbara doesn't know she knows how to invite people to stuff. I promise you. You all have the skills. And the game plan is just bring people in, help them share. Bring people in, help them share. Everything that you need, you have within you right now, I promise you. The only limiting factor is that mindset, and we can help you. Okay? So let's do a call to action, because you guys, we got to take this and not just walk around in a bubble feeling good, but what is your game plan, or what are you committing to for this week? I'm committing to really reaching out for the financial opportunity. I'm playing small by going products because it's my safe zone. But I'm going to make a new list I'm pledging to you for business builders. Okay, so that's what I'm committing to doing, and reaching out to my 10 people a day about the opportunity. So that's what I'm committing to you guys, and I'll do that during the weekdays. Okay, who else wants to make a declaration or a commitment, or what are you taking out of this call?
I'll do mine. So I made a commitment to not prospect. I know that sounds hilarious, but I'm actually making a commitment to not prospect and actually pour my time into the people that are already on my team. because I have those leaders on my team already. They're already there. They just don't know what to do. And it's because I am too afraid to tell them what to do because I'm not even sure of what I'm supposed to do. So this week I've committed to learning the step-by-step skills. I have set up a meeting with, and I'm going to invite you guys actually. Gabrielle Dean is committed to, it's called Going Back to School. So on Sunday night at 7 p.m. British Columbia time, I'm hosting a Going Back to School with Isagenix. It is literally going back to the basics. Like if none of us knew what the heck we're supposed to do, this is literally step 1, step 2, step 3. And it's literally how to go millionaire in an hour, and using only the basic skills and plugging into the systems that we already have and all the support. Like, I mean, the one thing I love about Isagenix is we have so much information, and the one thing I hate about Isagenix is we have so much information and it's everywhere. So what we're doing is we're just combining everything, simplifying it down. And that was one of the things that I needed to do, is that, okay, I can no longer afford, right? I can no longer afford to use the excuse that I'm not a good enough leader, because I'm the only one that's believing that, right? We're the only one that believes that lie. Nobody else does. We are. So I was like, Kate, I can't afford to use that lie. Oh, and I wanted to say, Carolyn, you had a thing about, what's her name? Mel Robbins. So this is so cool. You guys, I posted this on my Facebook page a couple days ago, and Mel Robbins has a thing. She said, when you're dealing with overwhelm, the one thing you need to do is you need to take these skills, and it's a simple life hack. So you literally, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I've been doing that and it works, you guys. So if you haven't seen any of Mel Robbins stuff, get on YouTube and look at it, because it's helped me like so much this week. But the other thing I wanted to say too is that besides the basic skills, like learning them myself, is just investing in the people that are on my team, calling them up. Like Tana said, learn who's on your team. Like, what is their skills? Like, you might have a whole group of people that have all these assets, but you're not using any of them because you don't know what their assets are. So just basically set up times with them, say you're going to invest in them. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm committing to driving. I'm on the West Coast right now. I'm going to meet with these people and just spend time coaching them. So yeah. And then I set up appointments with leaders like Aaron, and I'm meeting with Mark Clausen at 2:00 today. So that's my focus. $1 million plan. Here we go.
Awesome. I would still be open to prospecting. I wouldn't say that you weren't going to prospect.
Well, I do it anyways. Like, I can't help but prospect because people watch what I do on Facebook. So I know this sounds really bad, but I actually haven't had the time to cold call because I've had so many people just say, hey, I want to get on the team. And I've just added 5 new people. But one thing I learned in Eric Worre in Australia is that, and I'm not trying to discourage any of you guys from doing the 10-person call. If that's where you're at and you're confident as a leader and you've got that, 100%. But for me, I'm not only running my business, I'm running my dad's, who's signing up Hutterite Colony. So I'm having to manage all of his business as well as mine, because he's 72 and he doesn't know how to work a computer. So either way, the long story short is that Eric Worre said there's a season for prospecting, there's a season for teaching, there's a season for equipping, and then there's a season for prospecting again, right? And so he will bring like 30 people in a month, but then he doesn't prospect for the other couple months because he's building and training. So one thing I found is I built really quick, and I added a bunch of people. And I mean, really quick is, I'm exaggerating, like 36 people in probably a year or something, right? But those people I need to develop as leaders, because I'm going wide and now I need to go deep. So what I've done is I've met with other leaders in Isagenix, and I said, okay, what am I need to doing here? And they're like, stop prospecting and focus on your team building deep now. So now I'm helping them add people, which is only going to benefit me in my cycles anyways. I might lose the PIBs in a couple of weeks, but it's going to pay off through the cycling, because then you're going to hit those cycle bonuses and all of that stuff.
So you're prospecting through your team.
Yes.
So you're helping your team prospect, right?
Yeah. So I get them working on their posts, and I'm like, Kate, let's get this done. Like, let's get a post up, and I get my team posting every single day. If they don't know what to post, they know they can message me. and I'll write one for them, or I'll literally say, go on my Facebook page, copy paste. Obviously, like, don't just share, never share. You guys probably all know this already, but copy paste what I've written. If you can't figure it out or you're too busy at work, go into the bathroom, sit on the can, copy paste, drop the picture, launch it, and then we'll get our whole team to jump onto that post and celebrate that person and build them up and pump them up. But right now, it's mostly about, for me, just personally, where I'm at right now is I have a potential to go executive this week if I could get my ass in gear and help my team grow. But one thing that was that shortfall for me was I just didn't believe this past couple of weeks that I'm a good enough leader and that I don't know the skills to teach properly. This is not just something new in Isagenix. This is something I've dealt with my entire life. So that's one of the things I need to talk to you about, Erin.
I can help you with that thought for sure. Even if
good,
but you're amazing. You know what to do. Like, you know exactly what to do. So it's just, you know what to do. And here's the thing: you are doing it, right? And there's evidence all around you that you're doing it. So it's just a tweak, but our thoughts are funny things. So you're very inspiring, and if it's okay, maybe some of us will poke onto your Facebook and see what you're doing, because
yeah, absolutely. If you guys ever want to just like literally copy paste anything, like, I mean, I don't know. I've just put them out there. Okay. And sometimes thoughts come and I just like let it out there on Facebook. So some of them might not be great, but other ones, if you want to ever use them, Gabby's the same way. Like we just are very like anybody, it doesn't matter what team we're on. We're all here to be like, we're one team, really. We're on different legs. We might not be necessarily financially connected, but we're one team. We're one company. We're one family. Everybody can do it, right? And so I'll even post about that thing that we have this Sunday, because Gabs is going to jump on and teach for that. And if you guys have anybody on your team that are new or need to, like you say, like reboot again, then please feel free to jump on. I don't know, Erin, is there a limit like for how many people we can get on a Zoom call?
If it's a paid one, it probably is. I think it's 500.
500? Okay, perfect. Because I think it's gonna go viral because it's
And you're recording it too, are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna record it for sure.
Okay, because I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna be in Mexico.
Oh,
so that's okay. I can share, and you're always welcome to come on with us, Trina, any Wednesday. You're like,
this is incredible. I'm sorry. I tend to get long-winded sometimes, so sorry if I talk too much.
No, it's like
such a
it's just really important that we connect on a deep level and everyone shares their challenges and what's going on for them, and that's what we do, right? Mm-hmm. And I looked back at my business when it was in massive momentum, and I said, what was I doing differently? And I said, oh yeah, we were just talking way more about mindset. We were doing way more life coaching.
Yeah.
That's really what stops people. You all know how to invite people to try something awesome. You guys know you know how to do that. Why? The question is, why don't we? Right.
So this week for me, because I'm scared to, I was scared about sharing. Now I got over that, and I took my diaper off and put my big girl pants on, so that's good. But now it's my thing that I want to do is talk to some of the people, like you said, about getting them signing up people and doing that and sharing that. And it is a mindset. I know it's a fear of mine to push. I'm afraid. And so I want to face that fear. And I think in order for me to do that, that's probably utilizing you, Erin. So maybe doing, messenger or like a 3-way call and just watching how you speak. And then,
and we can thought, because if you take action with the fear still there, it's going to come across. So it's better to clean up the inner game and then talk to them. Because even the word push, right, is
I know
language choice that you use to
I know.
Right? So it's just like, oh, this is like, let's just be like observers and scientists and like, oh, this is super fascinating. Like I use the word push. But we'll just find whatever that most painful thought is, and you can message me that and we'll work through it.
But the word, see, then the thing is that I use the word push on purpose because that's how I feel. That's my fear. So yeah, I don't want it. I don't want to be that. So I need to get past that. So yeah, anyway, I want to do that. I just want to do it.
Okay. We can talk later today or tomorrow, and we'll go through that, because you're, again, like Trina, you're on the verge of execs. So, and you guys can go and hang out in Arizona together.
Yay!
Yay!
Let's do it.
For those who
Let's hold each other accountable, Carol.
Yeah. I love it. Does anyone else want to declare their goal or what they're going to work on or what they're committing to this week, and then we'll wrap it up? All right. Okay. Well, no pressure, guys, but I think all of us know in our hearts what we need to do. And if there's a block to taking action, it's just a sentence in your head that's holding you back. It's like a thought, which is, let's be real, a sentence in your brain, and we can clean that up in like no time. So reach out if you want to meet with me and go through and find out what that niggly little barrier is, because we'll get through it. I just want to give a big shout out to Trina for coming on our call. You're just a beautiful woman inside and out, and refreshing, and you brought us a lot of value today. And it was just kind of last minute, because I was expecting her for coffee. So I was like, clean my house. And I was like, everything was nice. And then I realized, oh, it's Friday, you're coming. So thanks for making me clean my house. And
you're welcome.
On our call. And Trina's, if you've missed the beginning of the call, I know Mandy did, and I think Carolyn missed the little bit at the beginning. And Carol, go back and listen to this recording, because you'll hear Trina's story. It's pretty legend, and she's across the water there in Powell River. So we are doing a sweat and sample in Comox next Thursday. It's our first mini kind of fitnessy thing. It's called the sweat and sample. So Janny's going to do a little mini fitness workout, nothing crazy. And then we're going to sip and sample some amped stuff and maybe some shakes. So anyone in our area, or if you have anyone in Comox, Trina, feel free to invite them, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been such an honor to be on this call. Like, seriously, I've learned so much from you guys, and I'm so inspired. And I just feel like I just got to be a little fly on the wall and like listening to, you know, you guys are just doing so much great stuff. And I just love that you're empowering other women and, you know, just helping to reach these goals. And I've taken I have a huge page of notes here just from what I've learned. So thank you so much for letting me jump in and just, learn from you guys. It's been an honor. So thanks.
Well, awesome. Guys, feel free to unmute and say goodbye and thank you. And hope you guys have an awesome day. And we'll be back here next Wednesday for more. Okay?
Awesome.
Okay. Bye, guys. Oh, yeah. And
Thank you so much.
You'll let us know about Sunday. Hey, Carol.
Hey, I learned lots. Thank you so much. It was great. Everybody's lovely.
Awesome, Carol. Nice to see you here, Carol. Bye, Diane. Bye, Mandy. Bye, Carolyn. Bye, Trina. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.